Our first story of the night is both weird and sad. Our research shows us that 9/11 was not a terrorist attack. Yes, that's right, I said it wasn't a terrorist attack, but simply a fight between two magical beings that were said to have died at least 6 centuries ago. Nicholas Flamel and Dr. John Dee have been fighting ever since Dee had found out about a book called the Codex, which Nicholas had in his possession. Nicholas had been working in the South Tower of the World Trade Center. Dee got word that Flamel kept the Codex in his office on the 80th floor. Dee could not retrieve the book himself because of his distinct smell, rotten eggs. So, he sent one of his minions to go and get it for him. Once this plan failed, he resorted to plan B, fly a plane into the South Tower of the World Trade Center. Sorry, 1 second. I hear that we have some footage of this tragic event.
Plane from a different angle as it slammed into the
Very tragic indeed. Now, for our second story of the night, we turn to Tristan Thiessen. Tristan?
Thanks, Rick. Last week, there was lots of people stressing and worrying about the blazing forest fires on Saturday, February 7th in Victoria State, Australia. Locals say that the fire was accidentally set by two immortal humans fighting over a book called the Codex. A book said to contain the knowledge of the future and the prophecy. The two beings were fighting over this book for about 500 years. Now, because of these careless fights, our city forest is demolished. Witnesses say that they saw these people throwing their auras and fire at each other all around the forest, eventually setting the forest on fire. The whole city is in an uproar, and this surprising event took the shelters of many animals. Environmentalists plan on restoring this forest as soon as possible. Thanks, and we will be back with weather, traffic, and sports after these short messages.
Fire in the disco. Fire in the Taco Bell. Fire in the disco. Fire in the gates of hell. Danger, danger. High voltage. Danger, danger. High voltage. When we touch, when we kiss, when we touch, when we danger, danger. High voltage. When we touch, when we kiss.
Japanese SUVs just got a little sexier. Introducing the all-new 2009 Subaru Forester.
Welcome to our WWBC weather event broadcast. Greensburg was a city that was in central Kiowa country that is located southwest of Kansas in the central United States. The population was recorded to be 1,574 in the 2000 census. It is the county seat and most populous city in Kiowa country. Greensburg is also home to the world's largest hand-dug well. On May 4th, 2007, Greensburg was devastated by an EF5 tornado that traveled rapidly through the area, leveling at least 95% of the city and killing 11 people. At 9:45 p.m. CDT, Greensburg was hit by the EF5 tornado. The tornado was estimated to be 1.7 miles in width and traveled for nearly 22 miles. Holy crap. 95% of the city was confirmed to be destroyed, with the other 5% being severely damaged. As seen in this picture, it is so damaged that it is flipped upside down. Now for some footage of the event. Now, why would so much damage and harm be caused to this small town just to get Nicholas? Well, the conspiracy covers that too. Apparently, according to the conspiracy, Dee's plan was to kill Nicholas Flamel in order to make the Codex's retrieval less difficult and leave no witness to the use of his magic. Did he succeed, you may ask? Well, no, he did not. In fact, according to the conspiracy, Nick and Dee had an epic battle in the small town. This also covers why the tornado was so big and powerful. Apparently, Nick also created an element of his own to fight against Dee's, but the presence of the other element, both Dee and Nick's, got out of control and merged, doubling the size and power around 9:45 p.m. The enraged element then thought a need to kill those who enslaved it and set chase to Nick and Dee through the town, destroying everything in its path. Finally, according to the conspiracy, after about 2 hours, the element was drained of its energy and died, ending what we know as a terrible tornado. Well, there you have it, the great magical conspiracy against Greensburg tornado. Back to you, Rick.
I hear from our producer that we have a audio message from our traffic reporter. Riley Singh.
My name is Riley Singh, and I'm on the corner of Malden and Buford when just now a 3-car pile, and I have 2 of the survivors named Dee and Flamel supposedly were street racing and crashed and ran after each other into the forest. I'm at the scene when they crashed and ran. Witness Little Wayne saw the whole thing when he was jogging.
Okay, man, the blue car was speeding away and tried to turn the corner when the red car brakes failed and crashed him. The oncoming car hit the blue area car. When you think they die, they run out of it and run after each other.
I'm Riley Singh, reporting live to you from the scene of the accident. Back to you, Rick.
Alright, thanks, Riley. That was very inspiring. That young gentleman, you should give him a t-shirt or something as a reward for helping us out with this. Oh, okay, sorry. Give him a hat.
Very interesting, Riley, and thanks for informing us on that very important topic. Now, for sports. There's been weird things happening in sports. For example, in the FIFA Championship game, all the stands collapsed and the ball exploded in the second half. And there were flashes of green lights and yellow and green lights everywhere. And they had smells of rotten eggs and peppermint. They say this happened because of the legendary Nicholas Flamel and Dr. John Dee continuing their battle for the Codex. They have started this battle thousands of years ago, and they are still continuing. Now, for an exclusive video of the soccer game. So heartbreaking. Many people got injured during this event, but luckily, not so serious. Back to you, Rick.
Thanks for watching the Worldwide Broadcasting Company News Tonight. Tomorrow, we will break your heart with a story about an elephant and his 3-day trip. Thank you.
H2O. Cut 1.
The top hour element.
Dee got word that Flamel kept the Codex in his office on the 80th floor. Dee could not retrieve the book by himself, so he had to send one of his minions to get it for him. But
It's
stuck! What? Oh, you are weird.
Thanks, Rick. Last week, there was lots of people... Thanks, Rick. Last week, there was lots of people stressing and worrying about the blazing forest fires on Saturday, February 7th in Victoria State, Australia. Locals say that the fire was accidentally set after 2 mortal humans... What the...
Stop farting!
Are you taping this?
Yeah.
Very interesting, Riley, and thank you for informing us on that very important talk. Now, for sports.
There's been weird things happening in sports. For example, in the FIFA Championship game, the stands all collapsed and the ball exploded. I